The full moon cast an eerie glow as I walked down the dimly lit street, my plastic pumpkin bucket swinging in my hand. I was dressed as a classic ghost, a white sheet draped over me, and I could feel the excitement in the air as children and adults alike embraced the Halloween spirit. My friends and I were on a mission to collect as much candy as possible, our laughter and chatter filling the night. As we approached the edge of the neighborhood, a chill crept over me, a shiver that had nothing to do with the autumn breeze. The houses here seemed older, more weathered, and their windows were dark and foreboding. I brushed off my unease, chalking it up to an overactive imagination. Our bags were growing heavy with candy as we ventured deeper into the neighborhood, but with each house we approached, a feeling of unease settled over me. It was as if the atmosphere grew heavier, the air thick with an unspoken tension. I exchanged uneasy glances with my friends, but none of us voiced our concerns. At the end of a long, narrow street, we spotted a house unlike any other. Its windows were shattered, its paint was peeling, and the yard was overgrown with weeds. A flickering porch light bathed the front steps in an eerie glow, casting long shadows that danced in the wind. Hesitation gnawed at me, but peer pressure and the promise of more candy urged me forward. My friends and I climbed the creaking steps, the sound like a haunting melody in the still night. I reached out to knock on the door, but before my knuckles could make contact, the door swung open with a groan. The interior was cloaked in darkness, and a chill ran down my spine as I peered inside. The air was stale, heavy with the scent of decay. My friends and I exchanged uneasy glances, but a mischievous grin from one of them emboldened me to step inside. "Trick or treat," I called out, my voice trembling despite my attempts to sound brave. There was no response, only a deep silence that seemed to swallow our words. My flashlight beam swept across the room, revealing dusty furniture covered with worn sheets. Cobwebs clung to corners, and the air was thick with an unnatural stillness. As I stepped further into the house, my friends close behind, a strange sensation washed over me. A feeling of being watched, of not being alone. My heart raced as I turned to leave, but the door slammed shut with a loud bang, causing us all to jump. Panic surged within me and I rushed to the door, my hands fumbling to unlock it. But no matter how hard I tried, the door remained stubbornly shut. The room seemed to close in around us, the walls shifting and warping as if they were alive. And then the whispers started, soft, disembodied voices that seemed to come from all directions. My friends and I exchanged terrified glances, our faces pale in the dim light. The whispers grew louder, more urgent, their words incomprehensible yet hauntingly familiar. In the midst of the chaos, a figure emerged from the shadows, its face obscured by darkness. It moved with an unnatural grace, its steps deliberate as it advanced towards us. A sense of dread washed over me, my heart pounding as I realized that something was very wrong. "Let us out!" I shouted, my voice a desperate plea. But the figure remained silent, its presence filling the room with an oppressive weight. It raised a hand and suddenly the whispers stopped, replaced by an eerie silence. My friends and I stood frozen, our breaths caught in our throats. And then, with a sudden, swift motion, the figure lunged at us. I screamed, the sound tearing from my throat as I stumbled back, my friends scattering in all directions. The room seemed to twist and contort, shadows merging with reality. As I turned to run, I felt a cold hand grip my shoulder, its touch like ice against my skin. I twisted and struggled, my fear lending me strength. With a final burst of adrenaline, I broke free and sprinted towards the door. My friends were already outside, their faces pale and terrified. The moment I crossed the threshold, the door slammed shut behind me with a final resounding thud. We stumbled down the front steps, not stopping until we were back on the safety of the dark street. We didn't look back, our breaths ragged, our hearts still pounding. The feeling of being watched lingered, a haunting reminder of the nightmare we had escaped. And as we rejoined the throngs of trick-or-treaters, the shadows seemed to shift and dance, a silent reminder that some houses held secrets too terrifying to comprehend.